All right. Some of you have complained, or I shouldn't say complained, have asked questions about numbers 6 and 7. How do you write an equation from a chart? How do you write an equation from a graph? Let's start with the chart. We know to write the equation, we've got to make something that looks like y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept formula. Okay, slope is the m, y-intercept is the b. The x and the y are just any old ordered pairs. Well, we've got a crap ton of ordered pairs here, okay? And we know to find the slope of a line, it's the change in y over the change in x. Change in y, how it changes from 0 to -4, 0 minus a -4. 0 minus a -4 is just 0 plus 4, which is 4. And the change in x, which would be 2 minus 0. 2 minus 0. And what's 2 minus 0? It's 2. Oh, there we go. We've got a slope, rise over run. But we don't want to leave it. We want to maybe change it into lowest terms. So 4 divided by 2 is just plain old 2. So right now we know that y is equal to 2x. But where does it cross the y-axis? Well, we know that if it crosses the y-axis on a graph, if it crosses the y-axis here, the x value is 0, the y is somewhere on this line. So do we have x equals 0 anywhere? Do we have x equals 0 anywhere in our chart? Yes, right there. 0, -4. That means on our graph, 0, -4, that's our y-intercept at -4. But how would I write it into my equation? Y is equal to 2x and a -4. Look at what I have done right here. I have taken these points, found the slope, then found where it crosses the y-axis, 0. Put x or 0 in for x. Now, if you're not sure, you know this much of it. You could put the 0 in for the x and figure out how it made the -4 over there. Okay, it's really not that bad. Okay, but this is our equation that we had to write from this problem. You use 2 points, find the change in y over the change in x. That's your slope. Find out where it crosses the y-axis. That's your y-intercept. But what if they don't give you the nice, neat points in here? What if they give you something like this? Oh no, it's a graph. They give me a graph and not the neat little thing that we had before, which were all the numbers. Well, guess what? It's the same crap. Okay, there are a bunch of different ways that you can do this. Okay, I'm cleaning off this guy. There are a bunch of different ways that you can do this. You can use the change in y over the change in x. They give us 2 points right here. This point's ordered pair is -1, 2, 3, -3, -2. Ooh, they gave us point. This point right here is right or left 0, up 4, 0, 4. So we've got 2 points on this graph. We can find the change in y, 4 minus a -2, which turns into 4 plus 2, which is 6, over the change in x, 0 minus a -3. We have to put it in the same order. If we take 4 minus 2, or minus a -2, we have to take 0 minus a -3. You could do it the reverse way. -2 minus 4 is a -6, and -3 minus 0 is a -3. It's going to come out to be the exact same answer as what we get over here. A -6 divided by -3, or 6 divided by 3. The slope, m, is equal to 2 if you reduce it. You can leave it as 6/3. That tells you how your graph moves, up 6, right 3, up 6, right 3. This tells you it goes up 2, right 1, if you wanted to put it like that. No big deal, it doesn't matter. You could just leave it as 2. You could leave it as 6/3. Some teachers would balk at it, but it's the same thing. Or watch, you could look over at your graph. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went up 6, 1, 2, 3, over 3. Rise 6, run 3, which reduces to, 3 over, oh my goodness, 2 over 1. Sorry, it reduces to 2 over 1 or just plain 2. You don't have to do the y minus y and x minus x. You can just count up and over or down and over depending on how your graph is. Okay, now if you got a negative answer and you see that your line is going up, you know you messed up. But we're not done yet. We don't have it in y equals mx plus b. We do know that y is equal to mx. We know the m is 2 and the x is here. Okay. Now, how do we find out where it crosses the y-axis? Now, this one's nice and neat and shows us where it crosses the y-axis. You could just take any old pair of ordered pairs and put them in for the x and the y and find out what it equals. But let's look. Look, where does it cross the y-axis? Right there. At right or left 0, up 1. Right or left 0, up 1. Up 4. So it's a positive 4. That's my equation. Y is equal to 2x plus 4. Where did it cross the y-axis? At 4. And what's my slope? 2, or 2 over 1. Okay, I hope that helps. That should be numbers 6 and 7, examples of both of those. If you have any other issues, don't freak out. Just know this is all you're doing is graphing and finding the formula for the equations. Y equals mx plus b. Beat that into your heads. Y equals mx plus b. Have a good weekend.